They always say finding the perfect opening for a speech is the hardest part. I would tend to agree. With that impossible task out of the way, congratulations. Graduation is the culmination of 12 years of hard work and dedication to academics. And for that, we should all be proud of ourselves. Graduation is not just about academics, though. It symbolizes the culmination of years of sports practices, theater rehearsals, club meetings, STEM tournaments, oratory competitions, and community service efforts. Years of late-night Orms pancakes, drives to the res, pickup games at Comstock, days spent at Compo and Calf Pasture Beach, and afternoons goofing off in the study rooms at the Wilton Library. Graduation means all of these things and so much more, and a less than ideal end to our senior year cannot take away any of these memories. Remember them, cherish them, and know that the future holds an immeasurable amount more. With all that being said, I do not want to waste this opportunity to speak to all of you with graduation platitudes. I think that speeches, especially ones as momentous as graduation speeches, have to be given in the context of the world at the time. What kind of world do we live in today? We live in a world where the extrajudicial killing of unarmed black men and women by police officers goes unpunished and continues to be the norm. We live in a world where white protesters are able to march on Capitol buildings across the country with AKs and shotguns in hand, spitting in the face of police without any retaliation, all to have hair salons and tattoo parlors opened. This is the same world where unarmed, POC, peaceful protesters are tear-gassed, shot with rubber bullets, and beaten with batons for speaking out against police brutality. We live in a world where rather than acknowledge the blatant horrors of institutional racism in our country, people are content with pointing fingers at looters, many of whom are allegedly white supremacists, undercover cops, or are otherwise not affiliated with protesters, in order to discredit the pain and suffering endured by BIPOC in America for over 400 years. This world, unfortunately, is one that some in Wilton are all too comfortable to be a part of. The town of Wilton is one where some will complain, well, how come people get to support Black Lives Matter while we can't have a proper graduation? These people do not realize that protesting is a constitutional right. Graduation can be celebrated with friends and family at home later on, but delayed action against the deaths of George Floyd and Breonna Taylor and hundreds of innocents just like them allows for the further propagation of systematic racism. The town of Wilton is one where I have had conversations with some fellow students who try to justify the use of brutal force against peaceful protesters by saying they started the violence, despite tear gas being thrown as a reaction to often nothing more than chants for an end to police brutality. They fail to recognize that riots are but a symptom of a much larger issue. But these isolated individuals do not speak to the true spirit of Wilton. The true spirit of Wilton is one that will march against police brutality and racism, ready to show its unconditional support. It's one that has donated time and money, signed petitions, and continues to educate themselves in order to avoid being trapped in the Wilton bubble. It's one that understands that the fight against racism is one that has to be fought every single day. It's one that understands, even though many of us have had positive, even enriching experiences with the police in our neighborhoods, those are not the same experiences that all individuals have had. With all that in mind, please do not let Black Lives Matter once again fade into the background of our national discourse. Do not take Black Lives Matter as an opportunity to be a performative ally. Take the opportunity to understand that with all the privilege and all the resources we have in the Wilton community, it is on us to continue to educate ourselves, to demand change, to donate, to petition, and to protest. As we leave for the Wilton bubble for the world beyond, we will encounter a variety of perspectives on life vastly different from our own. Learn from them, understand them, embrace them. Thank you.
And now, please rise for the singing of our national anthem as sung by choir members from the class of 2020.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the
If I show you a student who is an accomplished swimmer and a musician, who owns a perfect 4.0 GPA, you might expect valedictory accolades were a fait accompli, perhaps in the cards many years ago. But this young lady doesn't think that way. She developed a strong belief that nothing valuable would come easily and that no outcome was ever certain. She took a leap of faith in the power of persistence and in the belief that working hard, one day at a time, creates a process serving its own reward. While working hard to earn unguaranteed spots on elite swim teams and master difficult coursework, she threw merit and tenacity at problems. She stayed every course and dared to become exactly who she dreamed she would be. Her status as a co-valedictorian is well-deserved and most welcome collateral effect of her elan vital. But in speaking with her, one gets the definite sense that she would not have changed her game plan one bit, even if there were no such thing as a valedictorian. That fact confers added credibility on her status today, as we see it flows from her inner lights rather than external incentives alone. A volunteer swim coach, a tutor, a scholar athlete, winner of multiple senior awards, some national in scope, this young lady is on fire. She aspires to be a Renaissance woman, and she's off to a fast start. She will study engineering at Columbia's Fu Foundation School of Engineering and Applied Science. That's plenty, but it's not enough for this voracious learner. Columbia poached her from MIT mainly because Columbia can also support her continued study of the humanities. I expect in a few years, after she gets going, we may see new poetry for physicists. Please join me now in welcoming your co-valedictorian for this great class of 2020, Ms. Emma Babashak.
Thank you, Mr. Schels, for that introduction. Welcome, parents, friends, faculty, administrators, and honored guests to the Wilton High School commencement. As co-valedictorian, I am truly honored to announce for the first time ever for the class of 2020 car procession, ladies and gentlemen, start your engines. Today, in our upside-down world, let us heed the simple advice of an upside-down world author, Dr. Seuss. When something bad happens, you have three choices. You can either let it define you, let it destroy you, or you can let it strengthen you. I always thought our class memories would be defined by some corny 20/20 eyesight metaphor. Instead, many losses blur Wilton's class of 2020 story. We didn't get to bring dogs into school. We never got to eat burnt hot dogs or burgers in a slot. I never got to watch one last episode of The Office with my friends in the jungle. There was no senior skip day, no last day of school elation, no senior prom, no final season nor championship struggle, no PGP party, and no exuberant last cap and gown wave. However great, these losses do not define us any more than one loss defines a nearly perfect game or a season. Instead, this graduation recognizes the entire admirable body of achievement of those receiving their diplomas today. We celebrate what got us here: classwork, homework, projects, rehearsals, concerts, debates, practices, meets, championship games, wins, losses, pep rallies, fundraisers, jobs, meetings, and even protests. The pandemic did not erase our teenage achievements, nor did the pandemic destroy our spirits and talents. It simply diverted them to new pursuits, like TikTok dances, and Zoom conferences gone wrong, and cooking green eggs and ham, and watching siblings, and cleaning house like the Cat in the Hat, and realizing mortality was not just something in a textbook. We thus oddly gained an appreciation for life's daily monotony and its tragic frailty. How else can one explain how Zoom gatherings and FaceTime calls echo Horton the elephant and Horton hears a who? Tell me, do tell, are you safe? Are you sound? Are you whole? Are you well? A connected generation connected even more. And we learn that no matter what happens, humans care. Social pathways are remade, not forgotten. 6-foot distancings and quarantines are only disconnections if hearts and minds define them as such. We learn that family and friendships endure. We learned alone. We learned together. We depended on Wi-Fi like water in the Sahara. Never once did I think we would be destroyed by this, and we weren't. Parents and teachers, I believe that each one of us students has been like the precious seed of the Lorax. It's not about what it is, but it's about what it can become. So today, in young adulthood, we celebrate not only what each one of us has become, but also what each one of us will become. Envisioning each Lorax seed's potential, we can connect our past, present, and future selves. It's never been about a pandemic defining or destroying us. It's never been about what has been missed. It's always been about what we can become and how something horribly bad this year made us stronger for tomorrow and all future days. And so, fellow 2020 classmates, you're off to great places. Today is your day. Your mountain is waiting. So, get on your way. Good luck, class of 2020. Thank you.
As we see in these complicated times, leadership is more important and perhaps more perilous than ever. It's nice to think that Wilton High School serves as a cradle for future leaders. I believe the class of 2020 will produce more than its fair share, and in the vanguard of that is this Co-Valedictorian. He served as a pillar in our student government over the past 4 years and developed a reputation as someone who gets things done with steadfast determination. He is a key member of the debate and robotics clubs. He is known for his reliability and his passion for charitable giving. Of course, there's also the small matter of a perfect 4.0 GPA at Wilton High School. Truth be told, our ability to honor this class through this ceremony and our other events and activities might not have even happened absent his stewardship. He was a driving force on our graduation committee. Winner of some of our most prestigious senior awards, commended at the national level for scholarship and character, and someone whose calendar is always full of projects and community events, he is a true leader. 2 words immediately come to the mind of all who know him. First, altruism. This young man wades into arduous tasks and projects, always for the good of others, and never with any thought for himself. He coached middle school debate students, worked in Central America to build schools, and donated earnings from a tutoring job to charity. Second, resilience. He never let any wall or setback stand in his way or hamper him for long. His credo is improvise, adapt, overcome. Perhaps the greatest irony, it's not at all clear he will be comfortable with this honor because he dislikes the limelight, preferring to work steadily and quietly for the greater good without attracting any fanfare. Sorry to say to him, no avoiding the limelight and fanfare today. In the fall, he heads to the University of Chicago to study economics. Please join me now in congratulating your co-valedictorian for the great class of 2020, Rishabh Raniwala.
This year, I have the rare opportunity to speak to all of you twice at graduation. In remembering the moment when I was told the news about being co-valedictorian, 2 specifics come to mind. First, even though it was 10 a.m. on a Thursday, I was still in bed when Dr. O'Donnell called. I mean, we've all been getting up late in quarantine, haven't we? Naturally, I took the call while still under my covers because I just really didn't want to give up the comfort for another hour or so. Second, I remember feeling jubilant and thinking, hey, It's nice to have 4 years of hard work pay off like this. But what I remember most about that jubilation is how fleeting it was. It's the same with athletics, the same with any type of achievement, award, or material accomplishment. The feeling is great while it lasts, but it fades pretty quickly. And once it fades, yes, the memory will always be there, but it won't ever be vivid enough to inspire true happiness. And that's what we live life for, right? For true happiness? At least, I think so. I think that's what life should be about. So, if true happiness doesn't come from accomplishments and achievements, where does it come from? It comes from relationships. The relationships we build with our brothers, our sisters, our parents, our friends, our mentors, and anyone else who impacts our lives in a meaningful way. Happiness comes from the memories we build and the emotions we share from those relationships. It comes from supporting those relationships and being supported by those relationships. The pressurized environment that Wilton creates, where everyone has to have good grades, get good test scores, do 1 million extracurricular activities, and get into the best colleges, definitely made it hard to prioritize those relationships and that happiness. But in order to live the fullest life, I think that relationships are exactly what need to be prioritized. Going forward, we have so many opportunities to make new relationships, whether it be classmates we meet in college, coworkers that hopefully give us the same amount of laughs as the office, or families of our own that we start later on. Happiness from relationships is a fountain that never stops flowing. With all of my 18 years of wisdom, the best advice that I can offer is to make sure those relationships come first. And with that, I leave you all with this. It has been an amazing 4 years with all of you. I am so excited to see what all of you do in the future, because this truly has been the most talented, special, and resilient class to ever come out of Wilton High School. Congratulations.
As we engage in our graduation ceremony, we have a special moment of recognition. I call on all members of the school community and the town of Wilton to celebrate and honor Wilton High School Class of 2020 graduate Zachary Muraskin on his appointment to the United States Air Force Academy. To provide some perspective on Zach's accomplishment, last year, 1,182 out of 10,376 applicants were admitted, making the United States Air Force Academy a very highly competitive school to get into with a low chance of acceptance for typical applicants. Zach, of course, is not a typical applicant. He has truly distinguished himself during his 4 years at Wilton High School, challenging himself by taking an extremely rigorous program of studies, including 11 honors courses and 7 advanced placement courses, ultimately earning a 3.9 GPA throughout his high school career. Zach understands his abilities and his academic responsibilities. He understands how he learns best and works consistently to be a strong, independent, and successful learner. Zach is also co-founder of our school's engineering club, and as founder of Weather 360, he provided the weather updates for our school's news station, which gives him further opportunity to share his genuine interests in the weather. Additionally, Zach is the vice president of our Artificial Intelligence Club. We also extend our congratulations to Zach's parents, Savet and Craig Muraskin. We know that you are also extremely proud of Zach. Zach, your accomplishments at Wilton High School are absolutely amazing, and you have truly earned your appointment to the United States Air Force Academy. Our entire Wilton High School community is proud of you, and we express our gratitude for your service to our great country.
Every day for the last 4 years, we've been greeted with a smile as we entered the doors of Wilton High School. From my best days to the days where I have no motivation to go to school, seeing such a supportive and cheerful person first thing while entering the building has always made every day better. For every student, this person is selfless. She stops whatever she is doing at the moment to help or to simply have a conversation with whoever needs it. From giving out candy to giving out life advice, this person has made an impact on many of our lives. Regardless of how her days have been, she will consistently go out of her way to make our days better and easier. It is rare to find someone as caring and devoted to their job. In a school with over 1,200 students, she knows each of our names and makes us feel appreciated and known. To an outsider, she is a person that works in the front booth. But for many of us, she is more than an employee, more than an adult, she is our friend. Ladies and gentlemen, it is my pleasure to introduce the heart of our school and the 2020 faculty graduation speaker, Kim Ely.
Good morning, Wilton High School class of 2020, and congratulations. For those of you who don't know me, I'm Kim from the booth. First, I would like to mention how truly honored I am to have been selected as this year's commencement speaker. Although I can't see your smiling faces, I am very lucky to be here. But enough about me. Today is about you, as it marks one of the best days of your lives. Take a moment to think back to the first day walking into Wilton High School. A lot of you were like deer in the headlights, totally unaware of what the next 4 years would bring. High school has been a major turning point in your lives. New faces, new relationships, new hobbies, new interests. You've become new people. Not to say your journey was a walk in the park. As you should know, Wilton High School is ranked in the top 500 of the best high schools in America. With over 25,000 public high schools in the U.S., this is not to be taken lightly. The academic workload at Wilton High School is demanding, to say the least. I know it's taken you more than a couple of late nights studying to get through it. The long classes, lectures, Zoom meetings, the projects are seemingly endless, and the stress you faced is immeasurable. Just wait for college. But through it all, you've kept a positive attitude. I commend and applaud each and every one of you. Your hard work and dedication has clearly paid off. They say if you love what you do, you'll never work a day in your life. Because of the students at Wilton High School, I love coming to work every day. Some of you I've had the pleasure to know better than others, but your hopes, ambitions, stories, questions are what kept me here with you guys through it all. Can I borrow a pencil? Do you have some tape? Do you have a hair tie? Do you have any keys? Can I borrow some money? Have you seen my mom? Can I have a hug? Between all the good mornings, the hellos, the goodbyes, the behaves, the be goods, the tears, the laughs, the smiles, all of the secrets I've been told. You know who you are. Don't worry, they're safe with me. Please remember that through it all, I have been here and always will be here for you. It's been an interesting year, without question. It's important not to let the state of the world today discourage you. The resilience you have shown is why the class of 2020 graduates are not only the envy of the world, but the hope for our future. The spotlight is on you. Remember that no matter what, this is your year. You can make it whatever you want. Every journey is different. Every journey is a new chance to learn. Make this journey yours. Allow me to offer you a bit of life advice going forward. No matter where you are or what you're doing, take every day with a positive attitude. Try to surround yourself with people who remind you of how amazing you are. Do what you love, be inquisitive, and never stop learning. I am so grateful to have had the chance to address you today. I cannot wait to see where your futures will take you. Love to you all, and congratulations, Wilton High School class of 2020. Yay! Mwah! I miss you already.
It is an honor to greet and welcome graduates, students, parents, community members, Dr. Smith, our school superintendent, members of the Board of Education. I also want to welcome family members who will be viewing this virtual ceremony throughout the nation. To our graduates, I am honored to share a few thoughts with you during Wilton High School's first virtual graduation ceremony since the founding of the current Wilton High School in 1971. Who would have thought this would be possible a few short months ago? One thing that I can assure you of, graduates, this Wilton Warrior graduation experience will be yours alone and will be recorded in the history of the school. It is unique now and will remain a topic of conversation among your peers and your families for the remainder of your lives. Graduates, although this senior year did not conclude in the manner in which any of us would have expected, there is still cause for you to demonstrate your personal warrior pride in your Wilton High School experience. As a matter of perspective, a few scant months of e-learning and social isolation do not make a high school career. You have had 4 years of success in your classes, in clubs and activities, and in extracurricular activities. At the beginning of the year, your homecoming celebration was absolutely amazing as our school was filled with laughter and spirit and great warrior pride. Throughout your 4-year experience, you have performed in many successful concerts, excelled in the fine arts, including earning national awards, and you have engaged in challenging and successful athletics campaigns. As you look back and reflect on your 4 years of growth, I hope that you will remember the way our staff embraced you as freshmen and the manner in which our teachers challenged your thinking and helped you grow intellectually. You have developed skills and competencies under the guidance of the best teaching faculty in the state of Connecticut and beyond. More than anything else, you can celebrate the deep friendships that you have forged with classmates, teammates, theater mates, and club mates. These experiences and friendships will be enduring for this class of 2020 and will be yours to cherish forever. Graduates, I truly admire the manner in which you have handled the past few months since March 11th when we went into quarantine. There are numerous examples of our students contributing to the greater cause by making masks, supporting local and global charities, and engaging with service organizations. When presented with an opportunity to complain and feel sorry for yourselves, as teenagers sometimes do, you generally grasp the reality that this was a situation and challenge that was far larger and more important than yourselves. You understood the importance of your calculated actions contributing to the health and safety of your community and to our nation. You may have wondered and asked yourselves at some point since March 11th, how is your principal, Dr. O'Donnell, doing? I have to tell you that, as a true people person who loves being around my students and staff, this pandemic experience has been very, very humbling to me. I've missed you. I've missed observing your many accomplishments in person, but I could always rest assured that you are doing what you needed to do to stay healthy and to help your families and others and learn as optimally as possible under the circumstances. Actually, you may find this a bit amusing, but since March 11th, I made a resolution to wear Warrior blue and white gear every single day until we return to school. I've done this successfully to this point, but fortunately, I've been around long enough here to have tons of Warrior swag, which enabled me to maintain proper hygiene. Although those who were on countless Zoom meetings with me must have thought that I was wearing the same hoodie or t-shirt, they were all different, representing different classes, different teams, our theater arts, model congress, etc. Early on in the quarantine, I considered throwing down the gauntlet and challenging you to do the same, to wear Warrior blue and white every single day. But I reconsidered when I imagined that your parents would not be happy with me challenging you to sloth around in a Wilton hoodie or uniform for weeks on end. Well, enough about me, but hopefully this is a true testament to how much I love you, our graduates, and our school, and what we stand for together. Over the past months, while restricted to your homes, many of you engaged in extensive planning for this virtual ceremony, for our end-of-the-year virtual award ceremonies, and this car procession that you are leading in this year, 2020. A few hallmarks of this class were abundantly clear throughout these processes. First and foremost, class unity. It was important for you to engage in at least one large-scale activity together within the restrictive guidelines that we faced. The Wilton High School car procession is unique and allowed you to do so. You are demonstrating your personal and class of 2020 pride through the manner in which you decorated your cars and in which you participated. Second, equity was truly important to you. Each member of the class of 2020 must have equal opportunity to participate and enjoy the experience. The idea of 8 separate graduation ceremonies where you were divided into separate locations did not appeal to you, as you wanted to do something that had not yet been possible since March 11th, to simply engage in a shared experience, 300 plus graduates, warrior strong. I hope that this experience is also giving you pause and causing reflection on the importance of family and friendships that are truly the fabric and underpinning that sustains us. I encourage you to take the time to express your gratitude to your parents and family for the support that they have provided you along the path toward this pinnacle of your Wilton Public Schools experience. At this point, graduates, you've accomplished this part of the mission, and you are ready to turn the page towards a very promising but also uncertain future. What does the future hold for you beyond Wilton High School? Our town, our state, our nation, and our world will need your leadership skills, agency, fortitude, and passion. This pandemic, although perhaps waning locally, is increasing in other parts of the world. Recent unrest sparked in Minneapolis, Minnesota, a state I lived in for 7 years and still partially consider to be a home, sees our country embroiled in turmoil and controversy. You will be part of the solution, as this class contains the future scientists who can cure disease, economists and lawyers who can seek social justice, teachers to empower growth and learning, artists who will entertain and nourish our souls while we wait for cures, military personnel who will keep us safe, and tradespeople who will build the spaces we need to make everything happen. It's time for you to embrace the world that eagerly awaits you, graduates. With great pride, Dr. Smith, I present to you the Wilton High School graduating class of 2020.
Greetings, class of 2020, parents, family members, esteemed colleagues, and honored guests. Today I have the distinct pleasure of presenting the Wilton High School class of 2020 to our Board of Education. It is my honor and privilege to do so. Class of 2020, though we find ourselves in the most extraordinary of circumstances, we take immense pride in engaging in this time-honored tradition of formally celebrating your transition from one critical phase of life to another. This ceremony recognizes your successful completion of your studies and certifies your readiness to advance. The act of conferring a diploma signifies that you have been assessed and your work meets or exceeds Wilton High School's very rigorous standards. That being said, what we measure does not entirely encapsulate what we value. We don't necessarily measure, for example, empathy, caring and compassion, or resilience, fortitude, and stick-to-itiveness. And for all of your tremendous achievements and accomplishments in the classroom, on the stage, and in the arts, and on the athletic fields, it is your demonstration of these other attributes that makes me so very proud. When the going got tough in March, the class of 2020 made a choice, and you've continued to choose since then. Rather than become embittered and angry about what you lost, you chose to find the positive, and you chose to be the positive. So many of you stepped up in tremendously creative ways to address needs that emerged as a result of COVID-19. Your volunteerism and your voice in service to those around you mark you as an exceptional class that clearly demonstrates those values our Wilton community holds most dearly. While I want you to long remember the important lessons you learned in the classrooms, what I really hope you take with you are all of those experiences of caring and compassion, of service and of generosity that fed your souls, formed your character, and developed within you a deeper desire to connect with and serve others. More than anything, this is what our world needs. And you, class of 2020, moments away from becoming Wilton High School graduates, you are the future leaders who will set the tone and the direction for those who follow. It is you who will lead the effort to improve our lot in life. This world needs you. So along with these, there is just one more lesson I'd like to leave with you through a short story. And I think it highlights who you are and highlights your cooperative spirit. The story is an adapted version of the legend of Eagle Mountain, whose author is unknown. Some of you may be familiar with it. The legend of Eagle Mountain, adapted, author unknown. Early one morning, a pair of young children stood at a trailhead. Before them rose a mighty mountain, which seemed all the mightier when compared to their smallness. A trail led to the mountain and then up to its incredible heights before vanishing in the clouds. On this trail, they could see other children and their parents, some of whom beckoned them to follow. The children began to climb, refusing perhaps to believe that they could ever reach the top. At first, the trail rose gently, and the children had many companions. But soon they began to sweat and breathe heavily, and many companions turned away. Yet the children climbed, at times quickly, at times more slowly, over large boulders and across snaking narrow trails. At times the children had to go down a little way to find another path or stop a while to catch their breath. But still, they climbed. The trail became steeper, the air thinner, and at times the children stumbled. But they scarcely noticed, for they had along the way grown physically and mentally stronger of body and mind, and much more steadfast of spirit. And so on they climbed. Finally, after an arduous journey up the steep and narrow mountain trail, in the cool peace of evening time, they stood together, alone, at the top of the world and looked around. A soft breeze blowing and the pink and orange hues of the setting sun captured their attention. But as their eyes adjusted, they noticed they weren't entirely alone. A whole procession of people, parents, teachers, mentors, friends, stood quietly in the lengthening shadows. Some had never reached these heights before and marveled at the children's accomplishment. Others had stood upon the mountaintop many times, but marveled just the same. Some had helped the children in small and unseen ways along the path. Others had been as close and vital to them as the air they breathed. And as the children celebrated their tremendous accomplishment, they also celebrated their essential companions that aided them on their journey. Class of 2020, you've reached this pinnacle, and you have many other pinnacles yet to summit. As you continue to climb, rely on those around you for support, and in turn, as you already do so magnificently, support those around you who are summiting their own mountains. It is only through our interdependence that we can be most successful. And so on that note, let's proceed to my favorite part of this virtual ceremony. It is with great pride and pleasure that I now pronounce, by the authority vested in me by the state of Connecticut and by the Wilton Board of Education as superintendent of schools, I do hereby certify to all in attendance on this 13th day of June in the year 2020 that the members of the Wilton High School class of 2020 here before me have successfully completed the requirements for graduation established by the state of Connecticut and the Wilton Board of Education and are eligible to be graduated from Wilton High School. I do now declare them graduated. Madam Chairman, I present to you and to the Board of Education the class of 2020.
Congratulations, class of 2020. Behind your success today are your families, your friends, your teachers, and the Wilton community. They have nurtured, supported, and guided you on your journey from your first day of kindergarten 13 years ago to this graduation ceremony today. Wilton teachers have inspired you to work hard in your classes. You have learned the power and subtlety of language, the lessons and questions of history, the structures and mysteries of math and science, the beauty and inspiration of the arts, the differences and common bonds between nations and cultures, and the perspectives and wisdom of others before you. You have learned to question, analyze, debate, construct, and act. Wilton schools have provided opportunities outside the classroom. As the class of 2020, you have explored your interests through clubs and activities. You have excelled on athletic fields. You have brought down the house in theatrical performances and concerts, and you have touched the lives of others through volunteer service. You understand teamwork. You have made friendships that will last a lifetime. You know the pride that comes from hard work and practice, and you experience the rewards of service to others. And as the class of 2020, your final lessons were in perseverance and finding solutions to tough challenges in a time of upheaval. You created a unique and memorable graduation based on your commitment to experience it together, no matter what the circumstances. You made the graduation milestone joyous because you did it together. You leave Wilton High School prepared for your next journeys. We know you will accomplish great things as you explore, find your passion, commit to action, and build your future. The Wilton community is incredibly proud of you. Congratulations, class of 2020, new graduates.
Zoya Agueva, Ilana Albert, Gonzalo Alonso Alvarez, Anthony Andre, Emma Babashak, Estelle Bam, Carolina Barabash, Kristina Barska, Alexandra Bartels, Alexander Bartek, Douglas Beach, Nicole Beecher, Sarah Belcher, Emma Beneventano, Charlie Bennett, Tyler Blaine, Emily Bostwick, Anna Breen, Barrett Brown, Sebastian Buse, Jeremy Buse, Laura Burke, Connor Burke, Patrick Burke, Bryn Burke, Alexander Buse, Catherine Buse, Elizabeth Cameron, Dominic Catarizalo, Anthony Casello, Devin Casey, Lillian Kesaragi, Michael Casera, Emma Cassell, Brian Castaneda, Evan Charney, Anusha Chegu, Kiri Clancy, Anna Clark, Quimby Clifford, Kayla Cohen, Harry Coleman, Ashley Coltman, Lauren Cooper, Cassidy Casella, Maria Cox, Austin Crowell, Stella Crowther, Patrick Cummins, James Curto, Julia Kajowski, Thomas Schick, Christian DeCosta, Josh Darkwah, Brianne DeCola, Dalton DiCamillo, Leo DeGiorgio, Patricia Denian, Arthur Duraco, John Duraco, Sarah Dodman, Brian Dolan, Matthew Dooley, Haley Downey, Maxwell Downing, Hunter Driscoll, Mary Edgerton, Natalie Ellenthal, Tyler Everett, Veronica Foss, Emma Famous, Jake Farnworth, Sadie Farnworth, Grace Farrell, Maya Farrell, Danielle Favoralo, Jake Fernandez, Matthew Farrow, Christian Fennessy, Isabella Fischetti, Devin Flores, Cassandra Foley, Caleb Forlan, Kevin Fung, Camilo Galeano Mejia, Brooke Gardner, Emma Gardner, Emma Geitz, Anthony Gilly, Brett Gilman, Catherine Ginsberg, William Joffrey, Olivia Gladstein, Francesca Goncalves, Michael Gordon, Isabel Govea, Dean Griffin, Megha Gupta, Lila Hage, Olivia Hahn, Alexandra Harris, Christian Harris, Ryan Healy, Kayla Heber,
Amanda Heffernan, Cooper Heineman, Christina Hennessy, Madden Hervé, Caroline Hess, Robert Hickey, Ellen Holmquist, Jeffrey Huang, Larry Huang, Jubair Huck, Kyle Heisey, Daniel Nkeo, Alexandra Ayatsova, Nicholas Ivanov, Navad Jayawardene, Rushal Jha, Campbell Johnson, Megan Kyer, Reagan Cahal, Madeline Kalin, Emma Cantor, Dineth Karunamuni, John Kaufman, Ryan Kaufman, Matthew Kelly, Ella Kelso, Stephen Kendra, Sadie Kinnersley, Brandon Korinsinch, Philip Klinga, Isabel Klink, Johanna Knox, Alexander Kutsukos, Nicholas Kuvaris, Isabella Koziel, Brady Kutso, Matthew Kurtz, Theodore Laflamme, Matthew Lamana, Taylor Lamontia, Lucia Lampard, Megan Lane, Macy LeBeau, Eric Lebeck, Ethan Lineberger, Jackson Lent, Benjamin Leung, Nicholas Lynn, Benjamin Lynn, Justin Lipper, Delaney Liston, Lena Lombardi, James Luchansky, Nancy Lynch, Luke McDonald, William Maggio, Amy Malberg, Suzanne Malberg, Quinn Mangum, Liam Mannix, Jack Mariani, Samuel Marsan, Paul Martinez, Seamus Masson, Peyton Maddock, Victoria Matuk, Nymph McCarthy, Connor McCabe, Kelly McGovern, Liam McGovern, Thomas McHugh, Liam McLaughlin, Megan McNamara, Claire Meany, Hector Milicio Rodriguez, Trisha Matre, Lily Minozzi, Devin Moran, Griffin Morris, Mamvitha Mulapudi, Zachary Muraskin, Rachel Nadell, Claudia Nanez, Jack Nanez, Juliet Nanarello, Ria Narula, Caitlin Nichols, Calvin Nichols, Gabriella Nisco, Teresa Nobles, Hannah Noonan, James O'Brien, Maxwell Oliver, Katie Oliveri, Lauren Owens, John Parada, Andrew Harris Patnaik, Tate Paulson, Madeline Pennino. Paula Perez Pelez. Sophie Peterson. Carl Pfeiffer. Drew Phillips. Chantal Polanco.
Dominic Polito. Sean Purdy. Isaac Quantock. Kathleen Quinlan. Jeffrey Remnath. Rishabh Raniwala. Zoe Rappaport. Bianca Reuter. Kelsey Rhodes. Victoria Richards. Aaron Robertson. Maria Romo. Caitlin Russell. Noah Sakowitz. Nicholas Saldana. Anthony Salduti. Jack Sanamaro. Maxton Santos. Avi Sardana. Andrew Saumier. Jack Savaris. Alexander Saxon. Nicole Saxon. Jordan Sayowitz. Sophia Scarfy. Matthias Schaller. Lauren Schenk. Alexander Shestag. Damian Schmidt. Sarah Schneidman. Pablo Schroeder. Anastasia Schroeder. Lily Sharetta. Maeve Sexton. Maud Seymour. Christopher Shaw. Nicholas Sheehan. Anna Sherman. Zachary Sherman. John Schiller. Kate Shovlin. Carter Siegel. Trevor Sylvia. Eleanor Simmons. Rohit Singhal. Juliet Senor. Jessica Serrano. Andrew Smith. Brennan Smith. Kieran Smith. Nathaniel Snyder. Sean Soltis. Cole Steffen. Dante Stella. Emmett Stensler. Cole Stevenson, Alexander Stepnowski, Broden Streety, Vignesh Subramanian, Sophia Sudano, Caitlin Sullivan, Daniel Sullivan, Tabitha Sullivan, Tegan Sullivan, Sasha Seifer, Charlotte Tate, Talia Tarling, Remy Taubin, Lucas Thalen, Anna Thornton, Evan Timnev, Kaylee Titus, Madison Thomas, Christopher Tovar, Andrew Travers, William Trentos, Moses Trujillo, Harrison Tucker, Stephen Tyne, Connor Uterdijk, Ryan Vanderwall, Adarsh Varghese, Scott Virilli, Brandon Vitarelli, Olivia Vitarelli, Matthew Vogel, Nadia Veravolia, Tucker Walden, Olivia Waldron, John Walsh, Catherine Walsh, Nishant Wagnio, Parker Ward, Nicholas Wirt, Zara Wiest, Max Wilkinson, Claire Wilson, Eleanor Winrow, Mara Woodring, Solomon Wozniak Benjamin, James Wright, Yu Wen Yang, Anna Yoon, John Young, Jake Zare, Michael Zizadoro.
May the
Hello, I'm Sean Purdy, and it has been my pleasure serving our class as Vice President for the past 2 years. Today, I'm excited to announce the 2020 class gifts. While graduating during a global pandemic served to be a major inconvenience to some of our end-of-the-year senior traditions, we recognize the nationwide and global effect COVID-19 has had on many of our communities. Our class officers have decided to make 2 separate donations as our class gift. The first being a donation to the Wilton High School custodial staff, who not only worked hard over the past few months, but throughout our school careers to keep our classrooms and hallways clean and safe. As a class, we would like to thank our hardworking custodians. Additionally, we will be making a donation to the Feeding America charity. Due to coronavirus, millions of people across America are out of work, and thousands have lost loved ones, causing widespread food insecurity. Feeding America, a 4 out of 4 star rated charity, is currently using 98% of the money donated to feed people who are going hungry due to job loss. With these 2 donations, we hope to leave a legacy that the Wilton High School class of 2020 is selfless and generous. Thank you.
When the summer break of 2019 came to a close, we looked to the next school year with optimism, and rightfully so. It was bound to be the great grand finale to our high school journey and the first season to our coming experiences. 2020 at first glance was a new beginning, a new decade, and a fresh start. We saw it as a rebirth, much like the phoenix, but couldn't have imagined the amount of fire that would be born out of it. 2020, and all this chaos, it almost seems as if life as we know it has paused. As all of you obviously know, the coronavirus has separated and kept us apart. It has turned our last few months of high school into virtual realities, where our closest thing to physical interactions with one another, whether through social media, emails, or Zoom chats, are our devices' screens. And even in the midst of this global pandemic, 2020 has also managed to reveal another virus that has plagued America for what is now 401 years. Through the gruesome deaths of George Floyd, Breonna Taylor, Ahmaud Arbery, and many, many more, once again, the injustice in law enforcement and the day-to-day lives of Black people across America has been realized. And people are hurt, people are angry, just as angry as when they saw the video of Rodney King or heard about Amadou Diallo on the news, or Trayvon Martin or Eric Garner or Sandra Bland or Philando Castile. Unfortunately, the list goes on. However, I've seen that the difference this time is that the entire world is hurt and angry and tired of the brutality. People are marching in Britain, Italy, Puerto Rico, Brazil, and I even heard that while I was back in New York, that Wilton marched as well. And I believe that the youth has had the greatest impact on protesting and spreading the message using the power of technology we possess. We have seen the injustice and in turn are preaching that in civil unrest, rest is impossible. No justice, no peace. It's a beautiful thing to see such a glimmer of hope in a time where so much darkness persists. We came into Wilton High School as 14 and 15-year-olds, and in just 4 years' time, every single one of us has evolved and grown into a stronger person. We are the potential for a better world. And it's scary to think about because you know you're getting older once you've realized how young you are. One day, us, the future, will be living and working in a system and a culture that currently has oppressed and discriminated against people based off of the proportion of melanin in their skin. And we have the time and the energy to permanently change that. Wilton, you've been given an upbringing that many people across the world aren't fortunate enough to have. But understand that your greatest privilege is having the pedestal to access the resources, connections, and even the free time to help people. Wilton's bubble is called a bubble because every single one of us has the ability to pop it. Simply travel the world, especially to a place you're somewhat afraid of, and meet different people and mindsets so you can understand them. This school year has brought us unbelievable trauma, but in the challenging years to come, I hope you don't look back to your high school experiences thinking about all the things you missed in the end, but rather boast about all the things you've done to make a difference since. 2020, ironically, what's in the distance is blurry, but our vision close up remains clear. Let's make history by finally engraving justice and equality onto the souls of America instead of the billboard. Mahatma Gandhi once said, "Be the change you wish to see in the world." And to add to that, I would say, but at the same time, never sell yourself short. For all your accomplishments and the rest to come, congratulations, graduating class of 2020. The world is officially yours.